Thank you for listening to this podcast from TRE, Talk Radio Europe, your voice in Spain and around the world. For more information, please visit tre.radio.
TRE in the afternoon. Presented by Hannah Murray.
Good afternoon. It's just coming up to 5:10 and you are listening to Men Talk. With me in the studio today is Matt Jones and Michael Senka. Only two of them today, but with these two, who needs three? How's it going, guys?
Very good. Thank you very much.
Yeah, fine. All good.
Lovely. Thank you for coming in. If you are listening at home and you want to get involved in the show, you can. Here's how.
To contact TRE, please call 952 78 4000. Email studio@tre.radio. Send us a WhatsApp on +34 645 99 67 95.
What a beautiful day, it's a wonderful life.
So there's an article about pubs. In the not too distant past, a trip to the pub was not complete without a pint of best, a pickled egg, and maybe even a game of darts. But it seems this age-old routine has not been taken up by younger patrons, with Gen Z also shunning such classics as pork scratchings and ditching alcohol in flavour of soft drinks. A quarter of under 30s, about 24%, would choose a pint of Coke as their regular tipple, according to research. What does going to the pub mean to you, and has that changed over the years?
A pint of Coke and a gram of Coke probably is what they use these days. The youngsters today.
Exactly.
Oh no.
Right, pickled eggs.
Yes.
Now,
Okay.
they're just one of those things. I
this
love
a good
pickled
thing or
onions. I just can't eat them.
No, I was going to say
There's
I've never
something-
had.
there's
It doesn't
just-
appeal when you see them in the jar.
Exactly.
Like,
You used to have them at fish and chip shops.
Yeah.
Do you want a pickled egg with that for an extra 50p?
No,
Look
thanks.
like, They look like they've just come out of a lab.
Yes, definitely. It's like an experiment.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't want that with me fish and
Pickled
chips.
onions, yes. I'll tell you what.
Love pickled
I
onions.
love pickled onions.
Not sure
and-
I've had them in a pub though.
True. Well, you haven't been. Well, it depends. You go to a proper boozer, like an old. The UK now has diluted itself with certain chains, if that makes sense.
Yes. Yeah.
The big W, we'll call
Which
them.
is epic, I have to say.
Which is
the
brilliant.
cheapest place to go
It
ever.
is, and you can go to the middle of London, go out for lunch
Amazing.
and have a pint for £10.90,
Yeah.
and it's the same price across the UK. Brilliant,
Really, really good.
But they don't have like big pickled onions like Garner's. Is it Garner's? What was the make?
I don't know. I've never been a pub person.
No, really?
No, even when I was a boozer, and I was a boozer.
Yeah. Where did you booze then?
Well, just sort of wine bars and...
Okay.
It was never a pub, it was clubs. I went to clubs.
Right.
Well, yes.
I mean, I did used to go to when I was much, much younger, like I would go to the pub on a Sunday morning, have a drink before...
Sunday morning.
Yeah, like 12 o'clock.
Right,
The pub's
yeah.
open
Really?
at 12
Yeah.
o'clock, so
Yeah.
sort of Sunday... Then stay there till the pub closed, then fall into the car, drive home drunk and have
Oh,
Sunday
no.
lunch. Yeah, but...
That was
hold on.
back then.
I'm going back to 1960-something.
Yeah.
Like when you were allowed to be drunk and drive it. There was no... You had to wind down the window and put your arm out or make a hand signal.
I'm going that way. Exactly.
Yeah, no, so I've never really been a pub person, but when
No.
I have gone into a pub, I just find, it's like sticky tables and...
Sticky floors.
Yeah,
Sticky floors.
Yeah. I remember going to...
I love a pub, not because of the sticky floors though, but
No, but
A flat roof pub.
flat roof pub.
Like,
Is that a thing?
I'm going back to a 1960s kind of pub in the middle of like a 60s tower block urbanisation, and it had a flat roof
yes.
pub. And he walked in and you go... as you stood on the carpets as you went in. But we used to go to the out sales when I was a kid. Right, and if Mum's listening to this, I'm really sorry. But when I was a kid, you used to go to the out house, and so there was a side window, and you'd knock the door, and you could get a pint in a box. Technically, in a box, and then you could get your pickled onions,
Right.
and you could get your pickled egg if you wanted it. It was like out sales, was it called? I can't remember what it's called.
Amstels.
Amstels, no, but out sales.
I've never heard that. I've never heard that.
There was like, maybe it's a Wolverhampton Black Country thing.
Yeah, I think
Maybe.
it definitely is. It's not
But did
London.
you-
It's not London.
No, no.
Sorry about that.
Did you used to play games in pubs though? Because I still would love playing darts and
Oh, Patty was a
pool
darts
and,
champion.
Baskets or
She was like South of England something darts champion.
Wow.
Me, I've never been. I became a pool. I'd play, but I wouldn't sit there playing dominoes and
bar billiards. I used to love bar billiards.
I wasn't really, as I say, a pub person.
But you're going back to your point. Sorry to interrupt.
I was a drunk most of the time.
Weird that it passed you by.
Going back to your point about darts, and you just mentioned this at the beginning, I think the darts is actually having a resurgence once again because of, and I don't know his name.
Luke Littler.
Thank you. Yeah. 17 years old and is now a multi-millionaire at the age of 17. So I think, traditions of the pub are dying, but there are elements that will always still carry on.
Yeah, love watching those finely honed athletes playing darts. Toned.
I'm not sure when.
It's a sport, remember?
Yeah, I'm not sure when jukeboxes kind of went out of fashion, because I remember even living in Spain, and I moved here 22 years ago. Used to go to a pub here, and there was a jukebox. We used to go every Friday night. We'd play darts and put loads of money in the jukebox. We'd literally be feeding the jukebox all night, picking songs after songs.
I think
spending a fortune.
I'm going back to the 60s. We used to go to like coffee bars, and I think still the pubs were still for our dads and things like that.
Really?
Well, you'd start the smoke rooms.
It was like it was like a rebellion. We went to the coffee bar. We went to we were going to Carnaby Street. It wasn't pubs. We were going to. We went to a club. We used to go drinking at clubs, but those clubs never opened till 10 or 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
When all the pubs closed.
Yeah.
All the musicians and the people that we wanted to hang out with used to go to the clubs after their gigs.
I remember I was age 14 with my friend Barney, and
I'm nervous about what you're about to say.
No, his father lived in Chelsea.
Yeah.
So we went to Ed's Diner in Chelsea.
Oh, I remember. Ed's Diner had diners all around London.
Exactly. And they had individual jukeboxes on the table that you put your money in, and it went into the central thing.
They had one in South Woodford.
But him and I went to, at the age of 14, to a club. And we'll just leave it at that, shall we? Mm-hmm. But,
Yes, please do.
No, not that kind of club. But no, it was that kind of club. It was like a...
Club.
Like a Spearmint Rhino kind of place.
Okay, yeah.
So, at the age of 14, February half term,
was it Christmas?
Without pocket money, a lady comes and sits down. Would you like to buy me a drink? Myself and my friend Barney at the age of 14, I go, oh, this is amazing. This is amazing.
Lovely. How easy was this?
This is amazing. Her drink of water, back then, I'm 51, so it was about 15 quid. All we had was our blimmin' pocket money. The bouncers picked us up by our ankles.
Oh, no.
Waited for all the money to fall out of our pockets and then kicked us out.
Oh, dear. This is what not to do, kids, if you're listening.
No, sorry. We're going back to a time when, don't do that.
No, don't do that.
Thank you.
So, I'm not sure I agree with this. I don't know. There are some things that just don't seem to exist anymore, like jukeboxes. I can't remember the last time I'd seen a jukebox. But it also mentioned things like scampi fries, beer mats, packets of crisp. Well, I have all of those things in my
basket dinners, soup in a basket, exactly. Soup in a basket.
Yeah.
Good old scampi and
Love
chips
that.
in a basket. Oh,
It's like the first bite of scampi and all the water would come out.
Oh, yes, definitely. Oh,
it's like being a smoker from a very young age. Again, I'm sorry, Mum. Mum would go, have you been smoking? And go, no, Mum. What we'd always do was buy a packet of scampi and lemon fries.
Oh, yeah, because they make your breath.
And they make your fingers stink.
Yeah.
Have you been smoking? No.
Oh, God. Horrible. Let's move on before Matt says something else. Yeah.
Sorry, thank you.
Okay, this is an interesting one, which I thought was a nice little discussion point. The 11 secrets of super agers from my friend who's just turned 100. This was written by Dr. Max, the mind doctor. And I just thought some of the things that he talked about were really nice and made a lot of sense. Things that...
This has got to be on me, isn't it? 76 this year.
Well, there you go. Maybe let's see if you're a super ager. Do you have a passion? As in things that you're kind of passionate about that you like to do.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, people parking in disabled bays.
No, not things that annoy you. We know you've got plenty of them. But like
No,
things
that's a
that
passion. From my apartment, I can see the disabled bays, and I watch them get towed away, and it's the highlight of my day. Especially when they come back and they look both ways as though they've forgotten where they parked. It is a passion.
Okay, I get it. Well, that's fine. One tick. Next one. Do exercise you love so you don't think it's exercise, whether it's kind of walking, swimming.
I do lip-ups.
What's lip-ups? How? That's not exercise.
It's the best I get.
He's just moving his lips.
My daughter did 30,000 steps yesterday.
Wowzers.
30,000.
That's insane.
She did a 12-kilometre run to start, and then chucked in another 18,000 steps, right to 30,000.
My goodness.
But I checked mine. I did 720. That was it. And that was only because I got a weak bladder.
Well, we went for a walk last Saturday, and we were out for hours, and we did 17,000. And I thought that was a lot.
No.
For work, when I walk around the streets, you'll be surprised how much you do. I think the most that we've done is about myself and my colleague is about 17,000. No. You know, that's
if I do 3,000 steps a day, it's a blinding result.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But for me, music. So,
Okay.
and I absolutely dance like no one is watching. So I've got wireless headphones.
Is this when you're at home or at work?
Home.
Okay.
At home. No, I can't do it. Well,
No, it's inappropriate.
Well, no. But just dancing around. Music is the key of life.
Yeah.
And that's where my exercise comes from. It's me just being on my terrace with my headphones on, just listening to whatever music gets me at that particular time. So
Love that.
My exercise comes from music and dancing.
And do you always listen to, and this is coming from another article actually, but do you always listen to upbeat music then that makes you want to dance, or do you listen to some slow stuff as well? Because I never listen to slow music anymore. I haven't done for years. I only listen
to a bit of Crosby, Stills and Nash.
Okay,
See,
nice.
Our house is a very, very fine house. That's beautiful.
Things
song.
like Country Girl or Harvest Moon.
Yeah.
And it just makes you feel happy.
Yeah.
It's soft, but also...
I have a dinner party playlist, which is what I play in the house when people come over, and that has kind of softer, slower music. But the music that I listen to, if I choose to listen to music, always makes me kind of sing and dance.
I can go from Frank, Dean, etc., and all the Rat Pack.
Yeah.
But my favourite is I love electronic music. I love UK Speed Garage.
Okay.
And I love drum and bass.
Oh, wow, okay.
So that's always upbeat.
Yes, definitely.
I'm a rock and roll, like Led Zeppelin, Deep Purple.
Yeah.
AC/DC.
Yeah.
All the old stuff. I love all that.
There's an article coming up about music, so we'll come back to that.
What's the rest of the old people?
Yeah, doing that. Stop comparing. This is an interesting one. Stop comparing. Oh, he's got a bigger car than me. His house is nicer. All that. Stop comparing. Just be happy with what you've got, basically.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's good advice.
Totally. But if you wake up in the morning and take a breath of fresh air, you're winning.
You're doing well.
Mine is if you wake up in the morning, put your elbows out and don't feel wood.
Also good. Also good. Go out more. This is another one. Super agers are always on the go and get out of the house as often as possible. Far better to drink tea in a cafe or read a book in a library than do it at home.
Yeah, go out for coffee every morning, go out for lunch.
Exactly.
Don't go out so much at night, especially this time of the year where it's a little bit chilly.
Yeah, fair enough.
You never know who you're going to bump into in a random conversation. I mean, here is a perfect example. It's not a cafe, but this afternoon we're conversing over stuff, and you only get that in a social environment, which is a bar.
We get that a lot because we live on the beach now, on the Paseo, and we bump into people and they hear you talking, or inevitably there'll be someone on the table that will just join in your conversation.
Yeah, I love that. I really like that. I really like that.
It's all right as long as it's not having a row.
No, then it's like, shout. Yeah. Find different friends. This is one of my favourite things about living here. The idea of being friends with people from different ages, different backgrounds, all that. No, you think no?
No.
Really?
No, because you've got to go through your whole life story again explaining who you are and what you did and what you used to be like.
You mean you don't like talking about yourself, Michael?
I love talking about them. It's them. They get up and walk out.
No, they don't.
But no, I'm with you on this because and it's a Spanish thing because you move here as an expat and you've got a finite amount of people that you can mix with, if that makes sense. And then all of a sudden you find that I've got friends now who are in their 70s and their 80s.
Same.
In the UK, I don't think I would have had that.
No, definitely not. You wouldn't.
Because of the social aspect of how Spain works.
Yeah.
But my friends are still the same friends. My friends that I speak to still like once a week, a couple of times a month, whatever. I've got friends that I've been friends with for nearly 70 years. We went to school together.
That's so nice.
We went to school, and now but the conversations are a bit weird. It's like you never guess who I saw yesterday. No, what's his name?
That doesn't help.
What's his name? Married to Thingamajig. He used to work at that place, where...
the bit that's closed on the corner now. Yeah. They knocked it down a while ago.
We can have whole conversations and not actually talk about anything.
No one gives any actual information.
We do meet a few... we met some nice people here, but you have to be careful when you move. I mean, I've also lived here over 20 years now, and we made a lot of mistakes at early doors. Making, and I'm doing the... Inverted commas, friends. They weren't friends.
No.
They were, finished up losing money and helping them out and costing, get involved in a business deal which cost a fortune.
Yeah.
I'll give you that.
And then they disappeared. One of them.
Oh. Yeah.
I won't mention any names.
I think I know what you mean.
Yeah,
it's difficult, isn't it? I suppose that's you need to be a little bit more wary because you don't know who you're meeting.
Yeah, that's right.
If you take people at face value,
you're green behind the gills when you first move here.
Yeah,
and you go, this is brilliant, and you think that everyone this is what a beautiful social, and then you just do a little bit, and you go, no, that person's done that to someone else before, and someone else before. They don't.
You've got to have your wits about you.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, the beautiful apartment isn't theirs; it's rented.
Correct.
Yes.
Or that yacht that they own isn't theirs.
Yes.
Or the hire car.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I think we've all been there then.
Yeah.
This is one. Look on the bright side. All about being a little bit positive when we can, instead of woe is me. We've all got stuff that we could worry about or be stressed about, but equally, we've all got things that we can be happy about and be positive about, and that's what this article says. Try and look on the bright side as much as possible. Makes a difference to living longer. That's what the article's saying.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Would you agree?
No, I'm happy being grumpy.
Fair enough.
Look, I don't let... As an older person, I don't let things worry me. I don't worry about... Look, don't worry about the things that you can't change.
Control, totally.
Exactly.
If it's out of your control...
I did a whole interview on that the other day.
The whole thing is, what happens if this happens or that happens? Well, this is what Patty says to Sarah a lot of the time. Sarah says, what's going to happen if this way? And Patty says to him, what happens if it doesn't? So just always, everything's fine.
Don't worry about things you can't change or people you can't change. No, we can only change ourselves.
But also,
very true.
It's like, so-and-so gets on my nerves and, this one does this and that one does. Don't worry about it. That's their personality. That's the whole part of their makeup, Me going on about my long stories about what I used to do when I was younger. That's all I've got now. I can't really talk about what I'm going to do in the future. I can only talk about what I did in the past.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that's annoying to a lot of people, but sod them.
Yeah, absolutely. We are who we are, and the quicker. But it's true. It's amazing that I was talking about self-help books the other day, and so many of these self-help book concepts are things that can be summarised in one sentence.
Exactly.
But somehow they create a whole book out of it. One of the best-selling books at the moment is called The Let Them Theory, and it kind of goes on to this that that you can't change people, whether it's your husband's behaviour, the way your boss speaks to you, your friend that's a bit narky. You can't change anybody else, so let them be who they are, and you just...
But also, this is all this with this woke thing. Is like, we come in here and I go, hello, darling, how are you? You do that in another premises, you get chucked out.
Yeah.
Because I've been rude to you, but I haven't been rude to you. I've just forgotten your name, and
yeah.
And so everybody's sweetheart or darling.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I think it's sad when people are really offended by that. I really do. But everyone's got their reasons, I suppose.
As I see, there's a comedian. I got it off a comedian. He just said, "You're offended. So what?
Yeah.
Be offended."
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, what happened to sticks and stones? It's words. Be offended.
Yeah. You know that you haven't said anything horrible.
We haven't meant to.
No. No, well, exactly. But then you don't need to feel bad about saying darling. If you called someone a horrible name, then... Yeah. Fair enough. I'm with you. Let's take a break.
Hannah Murray on TRE in the afternoon.
Good afternoon. You're listening to Men Talk. With me in the studio today, Matt Jones and Michael Senka. Apparently, we hit our health and happiness peak at the age of 45, according to a new study. Of the 40 to 59-year-old Britons surveyed in the research, 76% said they experienced a boost in midlife when they never felt happier or healthier. I may or may not have chosen this article because I'm 45 this year. So I thought, whoop-de-doo, it's all happening, baby. Apparently.
It's a strange one. I mean, I'm 51.
Okay.
I'm
so
50.
Is
I'm in my 51st year.
Yeah. Do you remember
noticed,
45 being particularly good?
My 40s was good. I've noticed that as I've hit my 50s that certain things, you mentioned this before, so I know I need to get up at like 4 o'clock in the morning to go for a wee-wee.
Yeah.
It's a perfect
I'm at
example.
4 by then.
It's a
Competition, yeah.
Exactly. But
And I haven't even got up.
I was just in the bed.
Oh, brilliant. Only fun.
It's a really weird one. Your body just...
changes.
Your body changes. Your body changes. I mean... Yeah.
Yeah.
When you reach 50, you kind of hang on and you go, oh, hello. Well, I've survived so far. And I've been, in the past, I've had a checkered past.
Yeah.
And now you need to just go, okay, you got to settle it down a bit, son, haven't you?
Yeah,
really?
Okay. Time to kind of check in a bit. And,
drink lots more water.
Yeah, well done.
Et cetera,
Very
et
good.
cetera.
And you instead of getting your underwear from the department store, you get it from the pharmacy.
Love that. So you just need to change the places you shop in a bit more. That's fine. But it's called being adaptable and embracing change.
Got me again, Michael.
Oh, dear.
No, but I mean, at 45, I was fit. I mean, I used to play tennis, I used to play squash, I used to do martial arts.
Yeah.
I mean, as I've got older, then I've had the triple bypass. Actually, it sums it up. I went to the doctors the other day for I don't know, a checkup because I'm diabetic as well. There's all these lovely things you've got to look forward to.
Yeah, brilliant.
Right, it's a little checklist. A diabetes check. Anyway, and I said to him, well, I've now got this... something else wrong with me, and he just looked at me and said, hey, Michael, you have to remember. I said, remember what? He said, you're old. I said, is that your official diagnosis?
Yeah, exactly.
Old.
Old.
Yeah,
Nice.
no, it's look, you can't... You go bend down to put your shoes on, and you think, so, well, whilst I'm down there, is there anything else I need to do? Because I'm not going to do it again.
Well, yeah.
and every time you get out of a chair, it's followed by a noise like, oh.
To help
Or
you
sitting
on your
down.
way. Like,
I've nicked that
sounds
from
like
my
you're playing
grandfather.
tennis, but you're not.
And you go to sit on the sofa and you go, ouch.
Yeah, just make a
And
little
I crack my
noise.
knee. And then I'm in.
Oh, dear. Okay, this is an interesting one. We did a poll on Talk Radio Europe about kissing your kids on the lips. I'll read you the first part of the article, then I'll read you some comments from some of our listeners, and then we'll see what you guys have to say on the subject. As any teenager will tell you, dads can be embarrassing, even one as cool as David Beckham. Footage has emerged showing his 13-year-old daughter, Harper, successfully dodging his attempt to give her a public kiss on the lips at an event in London. Beckham has previously posted pictures online of kissing Harper on the lips when she was 5, and again a couple of other times. And each time it's caused controversy, with some people saying, oh, how sweet, how lovely, and others saying, why is he kissing her on the lips? That's really weird. So I put
I'd
a
be
poll.
more, be more worried of him kissing somebody else's child on the lips.
Yeah, no, good point. So I put a poll on the TRE Facebook page asking whether you think it's normal to kiss your children on the lips. More than 50% said no, but around 30% said yes, it's absolutely fine. Charlotte said, I have one child that insists on lips and one that offers her forehead. One that said, I think it's fine to kiss your own children on the lips, obviously not when they're older, though going through the I have embarrassing parent stage currently. Exactly. One says it can't. So Clive said, what a stupid question. It was always normal for lip kisses between child family members 70 years ago. And at 81, some lady friends still kiss me on the lips. It's not a sexual thing in any way. Someone said it can, of course.
At 81, nothing's a sexual thing. Even sex isn't a sexual thing.
Steph said it can, of course, have sexual connotations. I'm sure there are many girls who draw away when an uncle goes to kiss them on their lips. So I think this is just how some families do it and some families don't.
There you go. Perfect example.
So personal experience. So what are your...
Just no tongues.
No. See, it's too far.
No heavy petting like you used to have at the swimming pool.
So personal experience. Something you've done or...
Sarah, kiss on the forehead. I'm more than grateful.
Okay. So did you used to kiss your kids on the lips or?
I don't remember. I don't think so.
But not particularly. Okay.
It's never been... No, I don't know. When they're little, you just pick them up and you kiss them. Just kissing them, aren't you, all the time?
Yeah.
It's a strange one. Now we've actually brought this up. You never actually think about it.
No, I never give it...
My mum was here at Christmas, and now we've talked about this, I do remember kissing her on the lips before she left at Christmas.
Interesting, okay.
But I didn't.
You didn't?
I've only just thought about it now, if that makes sense.
I think I'm a cheek kisser.
Yeah.
But I think that's because I've been in Spain a long time, because that goes for blokes as well.
Yeah.
So everybody gets it. You know, if you see a friend.
Yeah.
But no, Sarah is definitely like... When she's staying with us, she's going off to bed, I get a kiss in the middle of the forehead.
Nice.
Right.
I just think everyone's different. I remember growing up that my mum's father sometimes would go to either kiss her on the lips or kiss me on the lips saying goodbye, and mum would always kind of pull away and make a funny face. And I remember her saying to me from a young age, the only person I want to kiss on the lips is my husband. And I remember hearing that from a young age and thinking, okay, yeah, that makes sense. So that's how I grew up. So it wasn't something that happened in my family. And I've always kind of taken that makes sense. Kissing someone on the lips is more of a romantic thing that you do with someone that you love in a certain type of way. But then I wouldn't say that it's wrong if people do it the other way. I get why.
Each to their own,
it's
isn't
just
it, basically?
It's
like you mentioned before, each family's different.
A kiss is just a kiss.
Yeah.
Oh, exactly.
As time goes by.
Yes.
Exactly. Okay. It's an interesting one, though, because some people can feel quite strongly about it being wrong. And it's like,
Sarah doesn't like kissing me because of the beard or whatever.
Yeah.
But, you know, just... I'm
forehead.
I'm quite happy on the forehead, or even a tap on the edition part.
Just a little,
all right, Dad.
little acknowledgement in some way. Yeah, I get that. Let's take a break.
Hannah Murray. TRE in the afternoon.
Good afternoon. You're listening to Men Talk with me in the studio today, Matt Jones and Michael Senka. Now, this is a sensitive subject, shall we say. The headline reads, too many criminals are playing the mental health card. Citing their mental health seems to exonerate some people from taking responsibility for challenging situations, be it family or work issues, instead of trying to face their problem head on and deal with it, as many millions of us do. The thing that came to my mind immediately when looking at this was the case of, now I've forgotten his name, the Sky News presenter.
Yes.
Who? Yeah, what's his name? No, the guy who went to prison over all the photos he had of young boys and stuff like that.
No, not
yes.
the BBC, but not Hugh.
Hugh Edwards.
Hugh Edwards.
Hugh Edwards. Yeah. Oh, it was BBC. Sorry,
yeah,
I thought it was Sky.
Yeah, that's why we
BBC. Yes, of course. Sorry. Hugh Edwards. Yeah. So when he was called out initially, he said about his mental health, and loads of people's reactions immediately was, oh, you know, the poor man, let's leave him alone. And then it came out what he'd actually done and how much more serious it was, and people felt silly for sympathising with him about mental health. I guess the thing with mental health is it's kind of difficult to prove.
Exactly.
You just have to, obviously it's a thing, it's a serious thing, can be a very serious thing for some people.
The problem is disproving it.
Exactly.
Well, yeah, good point.
Another side note.
If you turn around and say, I'm having a breakdown, you've got to prove that they're not.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And that's very hard to do.
For sure.
And then you can pull into this addictions.
Yeah.
So, for example, be addicted to drugs or to alcohol, to pornography, etc., etc. Like you just said, how do you? When does it start? When does it stop? When does it finish?
There's all sorts of things. I mean, again, I'm going to talk about Sarah because she is a forensic psychologist and she works in prisons, and she does reports on lots and lots of things on mental health.
Yeah.
Right. And I think a few years ago she was in a situation where she was talking to certain prisoners, and they actually didn't know why they were in prison. And I also we watch a lot of these TV things. There's something called 24 Hours in Police Custody, whatever.
Yeah.
And there was one recently, which is a prime example where drug dealers had taken over a house of somebody who definitely had learning difficulties,
Right.
and was stashing drugs in their house, stashing money in their house,
Yeah.
and giving them £100 to run this little thing but they didn't have any clue what they were
What
doing.
was actually doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were in a special.
They were targeted for that reason, no doubt.
It's got
Yeah.
a special name. I can't remember what it is, and they really didn't know what was going on. Then you've got the master criminal who turns around and says, "Oh, I'm depressed. I've had this, that."
Yeah.
How do you? Everybody's these days have got to be so careful.
Yeah.
But back in the day when I was younger, they used to chuck them into Broadmoor.
Yeah.
That was it.
And that wasn't a good solution
No,
either.
of course it wasn't a good solution.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, how do you prove that someone
Exactly.
hasn't got a mental illness?
Exactly. It saddens me that people would use it to, as a get out of jail free card
But
type
the
thing.
thing is, it's more likely to be the lawyer than the person.
Exactly.
Oh, possibly.
It's
Yeah.
the system.
Yeah.
The system's
System
in
allows
place.
it.
If you can do that, exactly. If you can do that and go, I could have a bit of a softer touch here. I could be more in an open prison.
The
rather
sentence
than
is less if you can prove
Exactly.
that. Exactly.
Exactly. There could be an open prison. You can come and go as you wish. And just have a curfew to come in at night. That's
Yeah.
the difference.
Yeah, it's not right, is it? When they talk about serious crimes and people having serious mental health issues, then when they're talking, someone committing murder, for example, and them, literally not being right in the head and not knowing right from wrong and don't know what they're doing. That's one thing. But somebody who suffers with depression of various degrees and committing murder is something entirely different.
For example,
the guy from Nottingham this week who had been seen by God knows how many doctors over the last 3 or 4 years,
Yeah.
and murdered three
kids.
Yeah.
Three kids.
3 kids. It's
He is definitely. He shouldn't be out on the streets in the first place.
No, exactly.
But because he's got a history of mental illness.
And then it's been very well documented, the Netflix thing about the Menendez brothers.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Now, they were cold and they were calculated and they tried to play the system. It failed for them by using the I was abused card, if that makes sense, which is also a way, they manufactured that, and what they did is wrong. I'm sure that there are certain people who have committed a murder who don't know that they've actually done it.
Yeah.
I honestly, truly believe that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, do not be a master criminal like you mentioned before and then try to use that card.
No, it's horrible.
Or a Hugh Edwards, where it's, you are sick, mate, but for different reasons.
Yeah, exactly. Whilst he was doing what he was doing, he was still presenting the news on BBC.
And
He wasn't that ill, was he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. He was the anchor man. Let's face it.
Exactly. He was a very clever, intelligent man. He knew exactly
paid, one of the
what's right.
highest paid people.
He knew right from wrong.
Exactly.
There's no excuse in that situation, I don't think. Okay, something a little bit lighter, like an ultimate fantasy fling. It may come as a surprise, but it seems rather a lot of us are happy for our other halves to have an affair as long as it's with a celebrity, presumably believing they will not have to deliver on the deal. A quarter of couples claim to have agreed that that should the opportunity arise, they could each have a no strings attached one-off fling with a star.
Correct.
Is this something you've thought about and
Yep,
discussed
no.
with? Yeah?
No, and the person that's on the top of that list, because I
Margot
did do
Robbie?
no.
Oh, Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt's mine. Brad
No,
Pitt's
he's
not.
mine.
No. Brad Pitt's mine. It's not my girlfriend's. Brad Pitt is mine, and
Why?
this is where because he's a good-looking man. What do you mean?
But you're
why?
straight.
Yes, I am, but he's still a good-looking man. For goodness gracious me,
You're hilarious.
Can you not appreciate the male form?
Oh, I can. That's why he's on top of my list.
You've gone bright red.
I'm just wondering why.
And Margot Robbie, yes.
Yeah.
Have a look down the list.
Oh,
Is Mr.
I can
Grumpy on there?
appreciate
Is
Margot.
Mr. Grumpy on down there? Any
No.
fantasy? No? Okay.
No, none of us are on the list, which is surprising.
None of us are on the list.
Because we're on catch, aren't we? So, yes, am I somewhere between Rihanna and Holly Willoughby? No, I'm not.
I'd like to be.
I should have
She
seen
could be
that
under
one.
my umbrella.
Oh, dear. So, is this something that you have thought about, or are you gonna now?
I claim the fifth.
You're taking the fifth. Okay, cool. Well, we've discussed it in our household.
Same.
Brad's
all the time.
first.
And
Really?
Yes.
Brad's
Only
there.
about a week ago.
Never once come up.
Really?
Brad, I'm sorry, who's not on that list, which is surprising, Robbie Williams. Because he gets it as well.
From you?
Yes.
What's the matter with you?
Nothing. He's a good-looking man
Have
as
a cold
well.
shower, mate.
Can we
It's
not?
on heat. Sitting
I
in your
know.
Are we not allowed to
Can't
appreciate
you
the
find,
opposite?
There's a-
do me a
listen,
favour.
there's a
Find one woman. Just keep me happy.
Margot Robbie.
There's appreciation and saying you'd have a full-blown affair with someone if you're not.
It wouldn't be a full-blown affair. It'd just be
okay.
like a one-night. Oh, Brad. Hi. I just happened to bump into you. What a strange occasion.
Too funny.
Okay.
Because I tell you where this came about for me initially, because it was a big deal on Friends, the sitcom Friends, because I was am totally obsessed with Friends, and this came up for them, and it was a funny scene because Ross had Isabella Rossellini on his list,
He did.
and his character Rachel, who he was with at the time.
No friends with.
So he decided to remove her from the list because it was decided that she was international and far less likely to be seen in New York. So he bumped her off the list for Winona Ryder, I think, who was, more local. And then Isabella Rossellini comes into the coffee house and Ross is like, oh, she was on my list. And Rachel said, oh, well, she's not anymore. And he says, you know what? I'll let you go for it. So he goes up to talk to her and he explains the story to her, and she's like, so I'm not on your list anymore. And he says, no, but it's okay. My girlfriend said it's okay. And he said, she says, it's such a shame because I also have a list of goofy coffee house guys that I'm allowed to sleep with. And unfortunately, you just got bumped off for that guy.
God, good old
It's a
Friends.
brilliant
It's never
Crikey.
a conversation. I'm sure Patty will remind me, but it's never a conversation I ever recall having. No.
Oh, well, maybe you should
What?
discuss.
Oh, that's-
What celeb would you
now these
like
days,
to-
Maggie Smith. I guess.
She's dead.
Oh, is she?
Yes.
Would I notice?
There's too many jokes which
this is
are not
so wrong.
going to go.
I think we need to take an ad break before it all gets out of control.
Hannah Murray. TRE in the afternoon.
Good afternoon. You're listening to the last part of today's Men Talk. With me in the studio today is Matt Jones and Michael Senka. We were just talking off air about the interesting situation that happened at the Grammys on the red carpet with Kanye West and his girlfriend Bianca Censori, something like that.
Something like that.
And she wore a big fur coat and then took off the fur coat and was naked, apart from a very thin gossamer dress thing, which didn't cover anything up at all.
No.
Thoughts, gentlemen?
I could just imagine her getting ready, and she says, well, what do you think? She says, you're going to wear them shoes with that?
Yeah, not sure on the lipstick.
It's like the fashion. Does my bum look big in this?
Yeah. Kind of screwed if it does.
Yeah, I think. Do you think it's a little bit too short?
Yeah.
You see, like,
Kanye West is a very strange person, and we'll leave it at that. I
Yeah.
feel sorry for her. and I could be wrong on this, and if someone wants to call me in and go, no, he's absolutely brilliant, Kanye, he's just like Andrew Tate, he's amazing. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
If someone wants to phone in and tell me otherwise, then I'll listen to them. But Kanye West he's a troubled person in his brain.
Well, I think the fact that she's with him, she's probably a bit troubled as well. Well, why did she do it then?
Don't know.
Well, where's the thing of turning around and actually turning around and saying, I actually don't fancy well, maybe she does fancy being on the front page of every newspaper in the world.
Exactly.
You've got to be. She wasn't being dragged down. No. And she did the whole pose, and she dropped the coat, and there's got to be a little bit of saying, yeah, okay. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's a strange
I agree. I mean, for sure, he seems like he's definitely controlling and things like that. But at the same time, there's being with a controlling man, and there's being naked in front of loads of cameras. You know, there's plenty of women that have been in a relationship like that, but would never allow it to get that far. So, you still have free will, and you still can go no and call the police if they try and force you to do something you don't want to do, etc., etc.
If I got it right, they weren't even meant to be at the They weren't even meant to be there. They did that red carpet thing, and they
just turned up.
And left. But
I think they were asked to leave. But
you can't force someone to do that. Surely,
exactly. That's what I thought.
I don't know.
Before I read the story properly, and I just saw that someone took their clothes off and weren't kind of wearing anything. My initial reaction was, well, it was only a matter of time, because certain women wearing less and less over the years, and going onto the red carpet, showing nipples, showing bum cracks, showing the fact that having really high slit dresses to show that they're not wearing knickers. All these things are becoming more and more normal. So I kind of feel it's only a matter of time when someone said, you know what, I'm going to go naked.
Do you know what? There's a way though of being what's the word I'm after? He's a very clever person.
Yeah.
He's Kanye West.
Yeah.
And it's where does manipulation start and your free will finish? Do you get what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yes, she's got a problem because she said, okay, I'll do this for you. But in the first place, Kanye is a very clever manipulator to be able to get. I mean, Hannah, please take your dress off now, etc., etc. To go stand on the red carpet. You wouldn't do it.
No, thanks.
You
don't fancy that, really.
But somewhere in there, he's playing mind games.
Well, I feel sorry for Will Smith's son, who thought he was going to be the front page with his silly hat on, a house hat. I'm going to make the front page there.
Yeah. Someone's taken their clothes off and beat me to it.
Kanye's here.
Blimmin' Kanye.
Exactly.
I can just imagine him putting down a card and go, that's a Trump, I think.
Yes, Trump card, yeah.
Can we not mention that name?
Yeah. It's just all a bit weird, isn't it? But I mean, I do feel sorry for her in a way, but I also think if she didn't want to be there and do it, she has a choice.
He's clever. He's manipulating her without a shadow of a doubt.
Oh, definitely.
And that comes back to these points before about the prison conversation we just had. In a way,
people being manipulated to do things they don't want to do.
Exactly.
Well, again, it's power, isn't it? It's people having more power over somebody who's weaker, whether that's to do with physicality or just to do with power and money and whatever.
Yeah.
We see it all the time, people with power abusing it. Back to the Trump card. We have one.
See what you did there.
Did you see what I did?
Yeah.
Clever, isn't it?
Yeah.
That was a good one.
Lions, there's an article, we only have a minute and so, talk about lions, the importance of enjoying a long lion, one of the simple pleasures. Do you set your alarms or do you wake up naturally?
For me, in the working week, I set my alarm.
Okay.
At the weekend, I don't.
Isn't it nice not setting
But then
an
I have
alarm?
dogs.
Okay.
When you've got 6 dogs, 6 cats and a goat, they always wake you up. But it's that effort of not having to put an alarm on the weekend. I could wake up.
It's okay as long as your goat's got nice big eyelashes, but otherwise the goats are no in their house.
No one.
Inappropriate.
They sleep with their eyes open.
Oh,
I don't even want to know how you know.
Because they stare at you.
That would freak me out.
This is why people think they're demonic.
The goat doesn't go into your bedroom, presumably.
Yeah.
Oh no, this is weird.
Hannah, can we leave it then?
Yeah. There's 30 seconds left. I think we should cut it now.
It's couscous. It's a family.
It's couscous.
I could take it for a walk on a lead. It's got a collar.
Okay, I need photos of couscous.
Okay, I'll send you as we get off air.
Moving photos of like couscous asleep
totally.
and in your bedroom.
Totally. Couscous doesn't get into bed.
Just to get this back into normality.
Yeah, we're at the end of the show. This is the
I
normality.
just love
Thanks,
laying.
guys. Lovely. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Matt.
Thanks ever so much.
Howard is next. Have a great weekend.
You've been listening to a TRE production. If you've enjoyed this programme, there'll be another episode waiting for you next week, right here on this platform, where you can also access our extensive back catalogue of shows and interviews. For more information on our live programming, social media channels and apps, and how to contact Talk Radio Europe, please visit tre.radio.